Hey guys, we're back with another cooking video. This week I'd like to do stuffed bell peppers. It is a delicious meal, it is a quick meal, and most importantly, it is easy. And I am the queen of easy. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the ingredients. Of course, this is the way that I do it. You can do it your own way. You can omit or add any extra ingredients that you like. Anything that you want to substitute or switch out, of course, feel free to do so. I just give you guys the tips and tricks to make some of these meals and different things you can pair with it. We're doing mashed potatoes. Last night I fixed mashed potatoes for supper. My son loves them, so we're just going to have that as a leftover. So be sure to look in the description box below for all the ingredients listed and options for side items. Or if you want, you can just have the stuffed bell peppers by themselves. It's whatever you like. So let's get started. Guys, these are the ingredients that you need to make your stuffed bell peppers. Again, like I said earlier, I will have them listed in the description box below, so you do not have to memorize them here now. But the main ingredients are bell peppers, of course, ground turkey or ground beef if you like, and rice, and then your sauces, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and start making our sauce for it, get our rice going in the pot, and going ahead and throwing my ground turkey in the skillet. So when I get back, we will chop up some of our onions and mix in our ingredients for our sauce. Okay guys, I got my white onion here. I've already trimmed off either sides of it and peeled the outer layer as well. So before I start crying, let me try to get this cut. So I'm just cutting it in slithers, kind of medium size, I guess. I'm going to chop some of this up, and then I'm actually going to leave some of them kind of long. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and chop it, of course. With anything, I don't know if I'm chopping right, but hey, as long as it gets chopped, that's all that matters to me. I got my water boiling for my rice now too. I'm going to take some of these longer ones and leave them as is, so we can throw those in the bottom of our pan when we're putting this in the oven. I'm going to get me a bigger cutting board. If you guys have any recommendations of good cutting boards, please let me know. Leave a comment, let me know. I want to invest in a bigger one, a nicer one. But I don't want to get one from like a cheap place. So we're just going to chop some of this up. I'm going to set it to the side. Then when we come back, I will get started on the sauce. Got my water boiling and my rice. I got about a cup of rice, maybe a little bit more. And I'm just going to pour it in there. This is quick rice, so it's not going to take long for that to actually cook down. I might add a little bit more rice actually. I actually like the rice in there. So let's see, I'm going to add another half cup of rice. And that should be pretty good. And we're going to go ahead and get started on our sauce while that is cooking. So I got my traditional classic tomato sauce, and then also this tomato sauce in a can. If you use the type of sauce that you would typically put on spaghetti, make sure you get a traditional one that does not have like any mushrooms or any other flavorings or seasonings in it, just the plain Jane kind, okay? So we're going to go ahead and toss that in, and I think I want to do some of this as well, the tomato sauce. And we're going to take our leaf oregano. Probably do about a tablespoon of that, which I'm pouring it over there, so it'll probably be more than a tablespoon. Look, that's about a tablespoon, so there we go. And some of our black pepper. I'm just going to take that, and you don't want to do a lot of black pepper, obviously, because then you'll make it spicy. I'm just going to mix that in. And then we can set this to the side. We're actually going to put this in the pan as well around our tomatoes. I mean our bell peppers. And we're going to put it on top. So when I come back, we're going to go ahead and get our meat in the skillet. Get that going. And I'll be back. So I have my skillet actually preheating over medium heat. I'm going to go ahead and add in my ground turkey. And now I'm going to add in my seasonings after I kind of break this up a little bit. So now I'm going to get our black pepper. Not too much, of course, like I said earlier. Our garlic powder. Our minced garlic. I'm doing a little less than a tablespoon of minced garlic. You can actually use a garlic clove if you want. For this recipe, I'm actually just going to use minced garlic. Our seasoned salt. Of course, you can just use a little bit or a lot if you want. And I'm going to add in our Worcestershire Sauce. I don't think I say that right, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And then a little bit of beef broth. We're going to let that cook down. I'm going to mix all that in. I may actually do a little bit more seasoning. Once it cooks where I can actually taste it, I'm going to try it, see if I want to add a little bit more of any seasonings, which I'll probably do just by looking at it. So when we come back, we'll get ready to cut our peppers and put them in our pan and put them in the oven. Got my ground turkey cooked down. If you cook it down well enough, you won't have to actually drain anything, especially with ground turkey, because it does not give off a lot of fatty juices. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour this into this bowl, and we're going to mix in the rice and other ingredients. Got my chopped onions that we chopped earlier. Going to add those in. Probably not going to use, let's see, I should use all of it. I think that actually might be pretty good. Yep, so we're going to stick with just that amount. And we're going to add in our rice. And we're going to mix that together. Then we're going to add in ketchup. Oh, so don't make that mess, obviously. But add your ketchup in. And then we're going to mix that as well. And we got to chop, or actually cut off, I should say, our bell peppers. Let's add some of that. And then we're going to throw in, I'm making a mess. Throw in some of our sauce with that. We've already seasoned our meat, so we shouldn't have to season anymore unless you want to, of course. That is up to you. So I got that mixed in. I'm going to go ahead and get my cutting board so we can chop off the tops of our bell peppers. And I'll be right back. Alright, so I got our bell peppers now. Forgot to take the little sticker off of there. Make sure there aren't any on the other ones. So we're just going to go ahead and chop the tops off and the bottoms. Like this one's a little wonky, so it may not sit straight, or it might actually stay up that way. But you can typically just cut off the bottom to make it level. As long as you don't cut the hole at the bottom. and then cut off the top. This is a shorter one. I suggest to actually get the bell peppers that are pretty tall, so that way you can stuff more meat in them if you like. But of course, that is your preference. Then I just kind of go around in a circle here, so that way we can cut out the insides of the bell pepper. And then I just kind of take it out. If there's any seeds or anything, then I usually just try to scoop those out with either my hand or a spoon or something. Set that to the side. Then get our green one here. That one's a little wonky, so we're going to cut off just a little bit. That's better. Going to chop off the top here. And again, this one has seeds, so we'll scoop that out. Usually you can just take the top part off if you want to, instead of just cutting it out. So I'm just going to try to shake some of these seeds out of here. And we'll go ahead and cut our other pepper. So got the seeds out of that one. Let's take our red pepper. That one's staying up pretty good. Let's cut that one a little bit more. Same process. Take the insides out there. Shake those seeds out. And then we'll go ahead and put these, or actually we're going to put our sauce in here at the bottom and our onions. So let's go ahead and dump some of our sauce down in the pan, or whatever dish, whatever you guys call it. I'm going to take this and kind of spread it around. You can put more, you can put less if you like. It's up to you. And now we're going to take our sliced onions, put them on the bottom. This is just going to add a little bit more flavor to our bell peppers. And then we're going to add our bell peppers in. And go ahead and add our beautifully delicious ground turkey. Now, you know what? You can even scoop this with an ice cream scoop. I can't find my ice cream scoop. It's probably dirty because we had ice cream this weekend. But we're just going to use it and stuff it in here like this. Now, I usually try to stuff mine pretty packed, pretty full. Actually kind of having it come off the top a little bit. Of course, if it falls out, just scoop it right back on in there. This is actually smelling really good, guys. I know it's not even done all the way, but this is smelling good. Or maybe I'm just extremely hungry. I think it's probably both. Now, when we got the shredded cheese, the cheddar, we're going to add that closer to when it's done, because this actually doesn't need to cook. Or that doesn't actually need to cook that long. The cheese doesn't. Let me top this off. You can probably actually make 4 peppers if you want. You can make more meat or use more meat and make even 5 peppers. We got pretty much all of that out. I might just add a little bit more sauce around the bottom. And then we're going to just drizzle that sauce on top. Let it flow to the sides. It's probably a little messy, but hey, I like messy. Depending on what messy is. So we're going to go ahead Get this in the oven. Let it cook or bake, I guess I should say, at 350 for about 20 to 30 minutes. You want the outside of the shell, you know how it's usually hard when you get it. You want it to actually be soft. So once you start seeing it wrinkle up some, that's when you know you're pretty much good. And you can also just kind of feel it to see if it's soft enough to your liking. So when I come back, we should have a finished product. Okay, we got our bell peppers out of the oven. This is after about 25 minutes of baking. So I'm going to add my cheese and throw it back in for about 8 more minutes. So I'm just going to throw the cheddar cheese on top. And Parmesan. And you can actually use just Parmesan if you like. Or you can just use cheddar. I'm going to do both because I'm feeling really good today. So I'm going to throw that back in for about 8 more minutes. And when it's done, I will have a finished product for you guys. Alright guys, so here is the finished product. Look at those bell peppers. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to eat this. You guys, this is a simple meal, as I said. It doesn't take any more than an hour to fix it. It's something that you can make in a larger quantity so you can have leftovers and reheat it the next night. That's what I usually like to do because I do not like cooking every day. So you guys, thank you for watching. I will see you next week.